Good day, readers, viewers, listening audience. I hope you are well out there. We will continue with the book entitled The Sacraments of Eternity, Prophecies and Revelations of Life Values in the Third Millennium, the Life of Humankind in Future Centuries. Let us resume play. Let us begin. You consider present is for achieving a goal, but it is only for your imagination. The symbol of eternity is inside you, and you should be proud of this. The deeper you penetrate the sacraments of the world, the more you will be fascinated and interested in everything unfathomable. I can tell with confidence the time has come to reveal the sacrament of life, and it is not a coincidence. I repeat, the second millennium is coming to an end. There are more and more people who understand and sincerely start believing in God. Talking about the future, one should be careful and not assume, but know the facts, not to be misguided. Please mind it. I will give you these facts as accurate and as transparent as possible. You'll be excited, very excited, I promise. Though before, please listen to me. Faith in God is the only human state which he or she should dedicate all their conscious life. Treasure all you have and respect the divine in honor of God. Sometimes doubts may arise that, though they are just moments of weakness of body and soul. I told once before, and now I repeat, the servants of the master of the house came and said to him, "Master, did you not sow good seed in your field? How then does it have weeds?" It is well said that evil spirits lives on everywhere, among ordinary people, even priests of temples, and I will exterminate this mold by all possible means. I will leave only wheat, a seed worth living and deserving God's faith. Why am I saying all these things? Because lately I have been observing pressure on my disciples from all around, and I want to be clear for everyone. Everyone will get what he or she deserves, both who drags through the mud and who does good. Sometimes I have to deviate from the point of eternity. I do it because of the mold which spreads around and won't stop at anything for its prophet, pretending to believe in me and love me more than anyone. There were a few who truly believed in me. One of such people was Alexander Men. However, mold defeated him. Still, he is with me now. You are Father Vladimir. With your dressed up suit will be punished as eternity. The God sees everything. One can hide behind the faith in me, stimulate and call himself a saint, being at the same time inhumane, impetuous. It is a grave sin. So many wonderful people I gave you, but you humiliated and killed them just for their belief in me, their true faith. I appeal to such people, to those who believe me. Whatever you learned from me or heard from me and accepted, implement into your life. God's bliss will be with you. Eternity is a grand, magnificent, light, and unfathomable and powerful space. The holy place of all the divine beauty around you. Let faith in the closest and most precious Father and Creator of the universe live in your hearts. Teacher. Eternity holds beautiful lines which impress and cherish. One may ask, where are they? We see all blur, and I will reply, you are right. You see all blur as all your light you ruin. Depends on time. Though time is symbolic and for eternity, it looks different than for you, people. Why is it so? I will reply again. Eternity holds your hand and you construct yourself or your system, survival system. It is quite roughly speaking, though precisely, there's nothing else. Everyone creates him or herself, his or her family. A country builds well-being, and the idea is the same in both cases. No, make it all for good. Sometimes you succeed, sometimes not. It's not God's guilt. He designed you, gave you life, and you are like babies. Develop yourself further. All are different, though I repeat, who is loyal to God and believes in Creator will always and everywhere be blessed, even after death. It is about any family. A family is a kind of country. A country is unhappy even if only one family is unhappy. One family member. A family includes both the positive and the harmful elements. The same is in a state. The time will come and it will all settle down, though you live in the present and you see what is going on around you. I beg your pardon, but I will slightly uncover the secret. There is great heavenly space named Naugatma. It is eternally blue space. Very many people, souls, live there. Naugatma is wonderful. Magnificent creations. Divine structure where there are no nations or any other formalities. Only bliss. A place where life is perceived differently. Keep in mind, it is not a place for dead. It is a place for souls. Lightlessness, light, and God's bliss. It is hard to imagine. Still, imagine space without borders, evil and hatred, no physical body, just energy or Holy Spirit with the own self. Well-being is around. Close people and relatives who passed away earlier are next to you here. The important here is justice. It is not an appeal to well-being. Live your life as it is given, for one is easy and another is hard. And here all will become clear. It is said not to cheer you up, but because this is how it should be. Taking you here to the great space, I do not cry. You do because you lose your loved, the energy. Just remember that I take you not because of my will. This is your desire. You come to me in different ways. It's not God's guilt. When I see a family who lost someone close and loved, I try to help in every possible way. But not all hear me. Many people try to understand, but they do not believe. It causes harm, as when you do not listen to me, you ruin yourself. I call on you. Listen to your heart, and you will hear me and yourself. There will be fewer tragedies, casualties, and similar misfortunes. And you will avoid any darkness approaching light and happiness. I'm talking about a family. It can be described in various forms. In the scale of the planet and countries, there will be not enough tears to shed over every sadness. I am observing you when you are watching TV, changing channels, discussing whatever you have seen. I do the same. I am watching you. However, I make conclusions. Information to Ukraine goes transmitted through my disciple. So I will try to reveal not a secret or prediction, but some of the future events. Ukraine is a country which formed with a purpose, not a coincidence. This continent included vast territories, united many resettlers. First resettlers were founders of the country, those who were before them mainlanders of Rossi continent. I will briefly describe the beginning of your history and the history of all nations. I will represent the future as I see and hear everything. He shall judge the universe in righteousness, and he shall administer. These are my words and not of my disciple. I repeat my original words and won't change them, as I am your teacher. There was Kivion Rus, beginning of the revival. However, the real situation looked differently. Roman Kretschek was the founder and resettler from the constellation of Gemini. He was one of the first inhabitants of this continent, along with his wife, Rosa Kretschek, and other family members. Ruda, Isning, Bravery, Savat, Sangli, Iklami, Jumazin, Iri, and their children. These are just a few people from those who inhabited this country. There were much more of them. Constellation of Orion and constellation of Gemini gave you many people who restored your history, your past. Even though you do not believe it, you should now know, and know now. First resettlement was destined to the territory of the present-day location of cities Kavin and Kaminsky. Spaceship Glolios 213 was hidden, and it transmitted information. The computer was functioning and affecting the brain of newly born, and it is still working. Some people feel it implements ideas into reality, including Korleviv. My gratitude to these pioneers, but only to them yet. They live with the names that I mentioned above, and I will name some more. Sima Kurtnik, architect. Grona Danchik, psychologist. Buk Sarah, astrologist. Dastanir Rumi, pilot. And the greatest, Sumil Dipnipur. He presented you all about electronics. The most important that to the gifted people he keeps coming in the present days, just in their dreams. First who received and accepted his messages were Lomonosov, Mendeleev, Newton, and others. Resettlement was unsuccessful, but this was insignificant for the universe and eternity. Nevertheless, a newly shaped continent where you live at the moment was inhabited by amazing people. They had everything: lived in joy and beauty. What do you see now? Even Bogdan Khmelnytsky saw it differently. I look at everything, but not from the bird eye view. I am next to you, even can touch you with my hand, my thought. You would ask, why don't you help? I help you even now when you are reading the book of eternity. But you again do not believe in me. So far, I suggest and advise, but in the third millennium I will decide. And then, until then, please change your attitude to yourself. If there are no changes, the economics of Ukraine will die as eternity keeps accurate records. In the great space, there are no economics, politics, parties, religions. There's only spirituality. Life is created otherwise there. Sorry. However, if earthly life is about other values, listen to your spirit or cosmos. Spirituality is a strength. A physical body is just a burden of spirituality. Initial load with some peculiarities. Spirit protects the body, teaches, and guards it. Tries to show the right path to enlighten both soul and body with beautiful light. Eternity, what a wonderful word. Eternity, without beginning and with no end, through with soul and love, tender and caress. Information and knowledge. Eternity selects gifts, takes back and impose punishment. All is in its hands, fair and wise. When you hear kind word, look up and let your heart hear and see the eternity. I deflect your attention away from the main flow of my story to give you some time to think it over and decide what's most important. To believe in eternity. The age of a reader does not matter. May everyone read this book. The one who can't read may listen, and he or she will renovate, will become a new person. Thus, humankind will transform in the same way as we were bringing up a child. We show him or her the reasonable limits. This is how it is possible and necessary to change humankind. You may be laughing, but there are no tears. The Bible is already written, and there will be no iteration. The central idea now is different, and the information is changing. Only spirituality is still the same. The central idea now is different, and the information is changing. Only spirituality still remains the same. The one who disagrees would better stop living. Spiritually. The Bible was given to you by eternity for your development. New Message, or the Book of Eternity, your recreation, which is given to you for your spiritual and physical prosperity. You will have more questions than answers. This is how a human's brain functions and a sacrament of unfathomable enthralls. You are different, though some are positive and pure, and some are negative and filthy. The truth is in eternity and immorality. Truly, I tell you, unless you change and become the little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Teacher. Blessed and sound life depends mostly on the only factor, faith in the Creator. The stronger belief is that the better a person, a family, or country live. When it happens, life becomes lighter and more natural, and vice versa. Let faith be ahead of you, not vice versa. The Creator is in awe of the world and begs you, people, do the same as you do, but for God's sake, and life after death will become light and comfortable. The soul will transform and purify, and the feeling of joy will multiply, supported by the value of living in God's bliss. The gates to the great space welcome all people. They are open for everyone. Therefore, please think, as devil gates are welcoming too. Creator, by all means, is trying to take you away from them. It is enough to see dark and unpleasant. It is better to be worthy and loyal of light, embrace of the overmind Creator. This is the design of eternity. Energy balance falls under two poles, positive and negative, figuratively, paradise and hell. Between them, there is a third in-between place, storage, purgatory, or limbo, where soul is processed additionally. The following destiny of the soul is the great space is defined exactly here. Let us consider the above mentioned in detail. First, positive polar is paradise. For you, living on earth now It may look ridiculous, though. It is an integral part of the eternity. Paradise, the great heavenly space, may be described so. Life on earth is a physical burden of a soul. It's not punishment. This is the design of the system of eternity. Being in a body, a soul is suffering and going through an array and various experiences, searching for ways out of any tricky situations. Sometimes it succeeds, sometimes not. But a soul lives anyway. At times it tries to give a hint to a human, but many people do not listen to their soul's whispers. They don't believe it. When a soul can't bear it any longer, it passes away to another world, leaving the body. If the soul lives in favorable conditions, life in the physical body is successful and nobody is suffering. Anyway, every person goes out with an outcome, and this outcome is a passage to another world, unknown but real. And the first moment after a passage starts, the soul goes back home to the Creator, delivering information about its life and a physical body on the earth. Let us consider a notion of the great space, or the great Naugatma. Paradise, the great Naugatma space, limitless eternity. There are no boundaries in the space, only energy of eternity, which is designed by the holographic system. Streaming into this system, a soul can see and hear all around. This is its God, its further life. In comparison with the earthly life in a physical body, living in eternity looks differently. Still, there is nature, cities, rivers, and seas, wildlife, another life other than self. After energy processing, removal of all negativity, the soul meets its relatives, friends, and those people and all close people. It is being cared and caressed, getting acquainted with the new life. As soon as it adapts to new conditions and develops necessary skills and abilities, it starts a new life, a new intelligent life, can travel easily to any place of the great space. The great space is limitless. The soul will follow the interests further and further, and the new knowledge will form this soul. It will become energetically stronger and stronger. The more energy, the stronger the soul will be. Perceiving various facets of God, being in this divine energy, the halo of the soul will shine brighter and gradually will find God's strength, which is given in favor of eternity and its creator. Attending various laboratories and libraries, computer halls of the great Naugatma, the soul will meet all famous people that once lived on earth. There will be meetings with the past and with the future. This is the best experience ever. We will pause there and we will resume play another day. Thank you, readers, for watching, listening, and viewing. Good day, and God bless.